Rare animals are an important asset for animal dealers, as they're highly sought after by the wealthy, where they pay a lot of money, especially in some Gulf countries, where princes boast these animals and pay imaginary money in order to obtain them. A recent report from the Global Seizures of Illegal Trade in Wild Animals has shown that smugglers rely heavily on commercial air transport systems to smuggle endangered wildlife. While the world's wildlife represents a valuable asset that cannot be compensated for by extinct, wild animals are readily available money for smugglers who trade in illegal trade. Some organizations concerned with reducing the risks to wild species have revealed the use of air transport by illegal trade networks in wildlife to smuggle them from Africa and other countries to their receiving countries in Europe and Asia through the Middle East and Europe, especially the United Kingdom. The ways to smuggle these animals through airplanes have varied, and here we'll show you one of the strangest ways some people tried to smuggle a rare animal. Inspectors at the Mexican Customs Service tried to search some of the bags that were removed from the plane, as he and his colleagues received information about the presence of prohibited materials that are smuggled. And when he opened one of those bags, which is a package, he was shocked after he saw what was inside. The strange thing is that he was found inside that bag a small Bengal live tiger, which is considered one of the very rare and endangered tigers. This little boy suddenly revealed his command, one of the trained dogs who were accompanied by the customs. The dog was walking in the middle of the bags and sniffing here and there. Suddenly, he stopped in front of a small bag and began to smell and hover around for a long time. Then, after that, he started barking, which required the intervention of his friend who was at his side, and opened the bag to make him surprised when they saw that small animal and the voter. Of course, the customs man who opened the bag was very afraid and asked his friends to turn back, while he remained amazed and looked at the little tiger. The little tiger was collapsing in strength and barely moved his head, after the dose of warning given to him before the start of the journey in order to remain calm and not to stir anyone's attention. It appeared on the tiger that its body was dry and that he was suffering all this time from a lack of oxygen inside the bag where he was imprisoned for several hours. After the investigation, the inspectors said that they brought this small tiger from the western Mexican state of Jalisco to the central state of Querétaro. The police officers who received the case added that the important thing in all this is that the expulsion documents were legal, as this expulsion was sent by mail to one of the people who live in the address written on the expulsion. Now the little tiger has been transferred to one of the centers specializing in animal protection in Mexico, and there's a wake-up from the shock he was suffering from, as he gets the necessary care and he's healthy. The police found all the details and information about that culprit, where the case was considered illegal, and criminalized its owner, where he was arrested and tried. The little tiger appeared inside the center in good health, as it received good care from the center's workers. Control must be tightened on such human monsters that endanger these ominous animals, which leads to their death and makes them extinct at an early date. Wild animal traders prefer to transport their illegal trade by air for the same reasons that ordinary travelers prefer it. Airplanes are a fast and convenient means of transportation and are often the most effective way to reach remote destinations. Dealers of these different animals rely on direct flights to shorten the time animals spend in transit. The process of smuggling rare wild animals has become criminalized in all countries of the world, with the aim of reducing their smuggling from the appropriate medium in wildlife and transporting them to another medium that they cannot bear, which often leads to their death. Despite all this, these operations are still practiced with the complicity of customs, who receive bribes with fictional sums in order to allow their passage.